And welcome to Retro Inebriation.
Hi.
But you're just going to wave silently for a minute.
So we...
Have a story.
Yes, this is a long time coming.
This is technically our second week of videos.
Yes.
Because we recorded the 3D Battles of World Runner. I'm glad that was on the screen when I said it, or I'd have no idea what I was talking about. We get that name wrong all the time.
Yes. We
recorded this, and then realized that we had absolutely no game footage.
After filming 2 games. Because I had a surprise for Brian that you guys won't get to see now.
We ruined it all.
Where we were going to play this, and then, after like 10 minutes, I was going to be like, Brian! And I was going to turn on Space Harrier for the Sega Master System.
You were like that. You were like, Brian!
Yes, I was exactly, yeah. It was a reenactment. Because I grew up on a Master System, and this was when I revealed this to Brian.
Yes.
This episode.
I'd literally never even seen Space Harrier before.
And I blew his mind.
I wouldn't go as far as to say that.
So we're going to play this for you guys. We're going to talk about some of the things we talked about, and then you guys get to see the Sega Master System.
Yes, we will indeed. And if I can find the remote, I'm actually going to mute that so people don't hear echoing of the game.
Oh,
so, if you'll excuse me.
Yeah. I shot instead of jumped.
How sad is that this is footage from our second week of filming. We're about a month into this now, and I didn't remember to mute the TV before we started.
Even worse is that this is our 3rd attempt at bringing you...
Oh gosh. We had the footage of us talking about this game, but we didn't have any of the gameplay footage. So we thought to ourselves, we can just go back and record the gameplay footage, and we can go ahead and sync it up. I don't know if you guys have had any experience with editing before. It is not as easy as it sounds. We had footage of most of this stuff. The jumping, the collecting power-ups, the dodging bad guys, the going to bonus stages.
There was some funny things where I didn't realize you were supposed to run into the poles first time.
Well, what I referred to it as was the Mario Brothers syndrome. You figured that you were supposed to go ahead. You missed the balloon. Balloons are bonus stages.
But I knew I was supposed to get the balloon, which is another from last time. I'm not drinking yet, by the way. I'll start drinking once we start.
Yes, our actual episodes for the week.
For
this is going to be the first and probably only episode of Retro Inebriation where there's no alcohol consumed. We just lost half our viewership right there.
Yeah, I'm clicking away.
The episode that you will see after this, which is Mega Man 6, is that the one?
Yes.
That one, of course, Brent will already have had about approximately 8 or 9 shots and what have you, because we continue the rest of our episodes. So everything else that airs is going to be just like you normally see.
Okay. Yeah. I made some really funny jokes about Brian roofieing me that aren't going to make it.
We said a lot of things that we're going to have to just give up.
So, so we tried to edit it, and that didn't work. And we said, okay, well, what we'll do is I'll come over there. We'll film a little apology video, and then we'll film the next episode. And that was last week. This week, we finally...
Fine, I'll play some. But we completely forgot.
Yeah, we
started the shots, and we realized that we couldn't go ahead and just start the episode with you completely plastered. And so we just, so here we are.
Yeah. So anyways, 3D World Runner. This is one I never played as a kid.
And I did.
I knew the music.
Music is pretty iconic. Don't start now. Alright. That was a power-up that I collected. Any of the little bottles or potions, essentially, that allow you to get hit. But again, going back to what I started saying earlier, because we love interrupting ourselves, you don't want to collect mushrooms in this game.
Right. And I died like 4 times because my brain is trained. I mean, I did the same thing on Mario the Lost World, or Mario 2.
Yeah, depending on whether or not you
were
in the States when it was released.
Right. I laugh every time I hear about a game that came out in Japan and then they were going to release it in America and they said, no, this is too hard. They'll cry. We need.
But let's be perfectly honest. Mario 2, the legitimate one that was released in Japan, is
one of the
very hard game.
It's one of the hardest games I've ever beat in my entire life.
I've never beat it.
That game was on my to beat before 30 list. And
which is now his to beat before 40.
40 list, but that one's not on it.
No, because you beat it, Brad. You realize this is the only episode where you don't have alcohol as an excuse.
Right. No, just saying it's not. I'm proud of that.
As you should be. You beat it along with Dick Tracy and a few others.
Yeah.
Battletoad vs. Double Dragon, is that also on the...
Yeah. Well, I've beaten that one. It is still on my beat before 40 list though.
Wait, why?
Because I want to do it with 2 players.
Spoilers?
Yeah.
Was that what that was for?
Well, I had said on an upcoming episode, I'm going to... The timeline is...
Don't try to figure out when we're going to air these.
My point is, in an upcoming episode, I'm going to give y'all my to beat before I'm 40 list. It is actually in my pocket at this moment. Don't get it today.
Don't tell anybody.
So...
We're idiots.
Yes. But no, that game basically, the difficulty in that game starts where the first Super Mario Brothers leaves off. It's like a sequel. I mean, it is a sequel, but like...
That's actually a good way of... I just
and,
right
and the
into that.
escalation is still the same. The difference between
it's like level 9.
Yeah. It is... It's...
I never thought of it that way, but that pretty much captures it.
So many times the sequels have it. First off, normally the sequel is easier because you're familiar with the controls, familiar with the mechanics. So even if they bump up the difficulty, it doesn't feel that way because
you're better.
This game, you feel like you just saved Peach and you literally just run into the next stage, and it's the same difficulty, and then it just keeps escalating. There are jumps in the game.
Oh yeah,
they're to the pixel. They're literally like speedrunners. Speedrunners. You're running fast.
What's so lame?
Yes, it was.
Boss battle.
Which Space Harrier after you kick your butt?
We can continue a little bit longer. I'm going to show another stage, a little bit of variety, since we're not talking much about the game.
This is actually more variety than you guys got.
On the original footage. We were doing so poorly. Oh, it was
bad.
pitiful.
There are jumps in that game. So you have to jump from this pixel to this pixel, not from platform to platform.
Correct.
It is actually pixel to pixel. And that is... It's pretty intense.
It's a rough game.
Pretty intense.
Okay. You want to talk more about these games?
The ones that we're playing?
Novel concept, I know, but...
That should be a drunk drill one day, we do the pixel to pixel jump. And,
oh gosh, that would actually be very entertaining.
And,
well, short. But
yeah, short, because I'm either going to go, yay, or...
Aww. That was not choreographed, by the way.
No, it wasn't. We don't choreograph anything.
Or script anything.
No.
Because I'm sure people were surprised by them.
They're probably shocked. But everything, all our wit comes across as so clever. Yeah.
Giant question mark on that one.
Yeah.
Darn it, I lost my power. One of the things I will go ahead... Oh, the hands.
Oh, yay!
We didn't get these last time. The hands don't want you to move forward, so you must jump over them, sometimes run far distances to one side or the other. They're obnoxious.
Yes, and it was funny when we were re-recording this because me and Brian were playing and we did better the second time.
We did.
And we got to like new levels and stuff. But the second time we were playing it to try to reenact the first time, and we got to like level 3 and we were like, wait, this is... we can't use any of this.
We made it too far. This doesn't go with our commentary at all.
It's crazy.
It is. But I mean, that just goes to show how varying games are. Even if it's a game you've played before, even if it's a game you're familiar with, it's never the same way twice. That's kind of the allure.
Oh yeah. Games are beautiful art.
Okay, not philosophical here. So anyway, quick. It's called 3D Battles of World Runner. Did I get the title right this time? I used to think it was called 3D World Runner.
I thought it was...
And you thought it was NES World Runner, didn't you?
I thought it was NES World Runner.
Okay. It is 3D Battles of World Runner, and they call it that because, very briefly, in 3D, you have the old school glasses. You can actually watch the game in 3D. At the end of this video, I'll have a little clip.
Yeah.
Which is sooner than I thought, because I'm now done.
I do want in the future to play this game again and order the 3D
glasses.
Even if it's just a drunk drill, we just put on the glasses and play a level.
It's a lot of fun. We'll have a disclaimer at the beginning letting you know, hey, have 3D glasses or this isn't going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So we're going to stop here. We'll be back in just a moment, and we'll play some Space Harrier.
Space
That
Harrier.
doesn't have 3D anywhere in the title, right?
And there is a 3D version.
Okay.
There's just a regular Space Harrier.
Which we will be playing. So we'll be back in a moment. And we're back!
Welcome back! So this is Space Harrier. Surprise, Brian!
Oh my gosh!
This is Space Harrier, which in my opinion is kind of the equivalent of the battles of 3D Runner Man in
3D Battles of World Runner. Remember, no alcohol in this video is an excuse.
It's kind of the equivalent. I died.
You did? I would have to agree that it's the equivalent. They have a lot of similarities, but they also have a decent amount of differences too.
Yes.
I was very impressed when you first showed this to me, because one of the things that we did comment on was that lack of notoriety of the Master System. You brought that up in our very first week's videos. I think we talked about it in Double Dragon, as a matter of fact.
Yes.
But those of us that grew up in the States, we didn't see a lot of the Master System. It wasn't very popular here. So you might have had a friend that owned it if you didn't have it yourself.
If you knew me, if you didn't, then
if you didn't know Brent,
you didn't know anybody that had one that I've ever experienced in my life.
Because you were the friend.
I have never met another person that owned one, literally.
Because you were the friend. Something I got to bring up, just because you started passing a whole bunch of them now. These trees are one of the most dangerous obstacles in the game.
Yes.
Oh no! Were you trying to prove the point?
No, I just almost did naturally. I was trying to shoot the little bubbles. I love the animation, because if you drop down, you start running. And if you go up, you fly, and then he turns at the side of the screen.
He does pan.
And I think that's such a neat little, itty bitty little touch.
They did put a lot of detail. Now, one of the things I will criticize, which I did bring up the first time, I'm not a big fan of the boss. I think it's too segmented, too blocky. But I don't have a lot of critiques for this game. Even though I didn't grow up with it, I don't have the nostalgic factor, I was very impressed. I think it's a really cool game, and it does have that same feel. You have the forward scrolling. Now, it doesn't have the speed feel.
Yeah.
Because even though you can tell he's obviously moving at a decent pace, because he's got all these spaceships and whatnot flying at him. But 3D World Runner feels like it's a lot faster, like it's a lot more hectic, there's a lot more urgency to it. But overall, this is a really quality game. I didn't even know the Master System had graphics like this.
Some of the graphics in the Master System are pretty. It's actually a more powerful system than the NES.
I would have assumed that. I don't know any of the specs of it, but just from looking at it, that's what I would have thought.
Nintendo has a knack for making underpowered systems that blow a more power system out of the water.
They really
Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo.
No, I have to point out the biggest example in terms of underpowered Game Boy.
Oh yeah,
Game Boy buried
Game Gear.
Everything, not all of it. Game Gear, Turbo Express, Lynx, and one that came out with
color was better than the Game Boy.
Wonder Swan.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Wonder Swan came out wasn't that the late '90s or something? Yeah. So that's not a decent comparison. I'm not even playing. I just let it go. I should actually.
You're like a kid in an arcade. You do know this is an arcade port, right?
I had no idea. No.
Yeah, and this is not like it's. Some people use the word port incorrectly quite regularly because they say this is part of the arcade game, and actually it's a remake made for a console.
Right.
Whereas sometimes you have games that actually take the coding from
the arcade game
and they squish it into a console.
What do they do with it?
They squish it. The best port, in my opinion, as far as NES and Master System is Turtles Arcade.
Yes. Which, as a coincidence, will be played later this week.
Oh my goodness! I didn't even do that on purpose. I'm not.
Yeah, oh, bull crap.
I didn't. I swear.
You already know the games we're playing, so how could you not have done it on purpose? No alcohol, Brent. Seriously.
No, but you think I know the schedule that well? If you've listened to me earlier this episode, you know that I don't know what's releasing when.
Okay, that's true.
But. Yeah, no, the
I feel a lot more comfortable with this game than I did last time.
Yeah. You're doing swell, Brian. I do like the fact that he has a smiley face.
On the end of the gun?
On the end of the gun.
Wasn't it your wife that pointed
My
that
wife,
out?
yeah, when we were trying to film the fix-it footage, she was like...
Fix-it footage, I like that. We're going up against the boss now?
Yeah, there's 3 boss fights.
Cool. I don't think I even made it to the boss last time.
I don't like the way the boss looks when he's like way back in the background. I do think he looks cool when he gets up close. Because he's got the wave effect.
I like the face itself, but again, you notice the square graphics around the boss is kind of my standoffish point. Do you have any final comments or whatnot you wanted to make about the game? Or?
No, Space Harrier is great. I love my Sega Master System. And we're going to play a lot of Sega Master System games. If you've ever thought nobody ever plays Sega Master System games,
we will prove you wrong.
Remedy that.
Well, we already did this past week because we played Black Belt, so
which is great.
That was fun. I enjoyed it. Thanks for tuning in. Next episode, of course, is going to be back to usual. Brent's already going to be drunk.
Yes. I'll go through and figure out how many shots it was at the point.
Thank you.
We'll at least try.
We have a count going, so you should be okay.
So we'll let you know where I'm at and
so on and so forth.
Yeah.
All right. See you then. What would you say to me if I went, oh shit, we didn't do video capture?
I would say that.